Well, hello YouTube friends. It's been a while. I'll explain. I have not been well, but I'm feeling so much better now. So much better. I felt pretty rubbish this past couple of weeks. And you know how people will say to you, "Oh, I've had the flu at the weekend." No, if you've had the flu, you properly know how poorly you can be. So it's like a week in bed and a week of walking around like a zombie. I've had kittens to entertain me, of course. I'll put a little clip of the kittens on at the end of this. You won't believe how big they've got. They're 3 weeks old today. And Sadie's been fantastic, looking after them really well. And the other cats have had their nose put out of joint a little bit, but they're all right really, because I've been well enough to come downstairs and feed the cats and look after the hens and collect the eggs and all of that. So today is the first day I can properly say that I've felt okay. I think that might be due to the fact that I've just had a lovely visit from some of my kids. There's a couple of them up from my son and his girlfriend are up from London, and so people have been popped in to see me this morning, which was just gorgeous. That's really it's kind of like giving me a little boost. I had hoped to get all that quilt sewn together, that beautiful indigo blue flying goose quilt. I'd hoped to get all of that sewn together. I'd hoped to keep on top of the garden. The garden's all right. I mean, there are more weeds than I would like, and it's a bit dry in places. I have been managing to get out to water sometimes, and my daughter did call by one day, and she did a big watering for me. So that's enough of that. We won't harp on about all of that, because there's more exciting things to talk about. So the kittens, I'll put kitten news at the end there for you, I promise. The chicks, the two little chicks, I heard from Susie, who's got them. What happened there, she took 3, if you remember, and one of them was really poorly and tiny, half the size of the others, and I wasn't at all surprised when she told me that one had died. But what she said was, at least it died under the wings of the hen, so if it's going to die, it's a nicer way to do it than in a box with a brooding light over it. So I didn't think that one would make it, but the 2 of the lavender aracanas are now living at Susie's, being looked after by a big hen called Biddy, who's a buff Orpington, who's a massive hen, and these chicks are tiny. Kittens are 3 weeks old. Potential owners have been to see them. Yesterday there was a big thunderstorm, and it's actually feeling a bit thundery again now, which is where I think all this wind's coming from. So we'll go and have a look at a few of the bits and pieces that are happening in the garden. A couple of times I felt it's like sitting outside in the sunshine, and I've been pricking out some tiny little seedlings, so I've done quite a lot of those. So it hasn't been at a standstill, the garden. It's been fine. Sometimes when you're poorly, if you've got commitments or expectations, then people, wanting, you've got a boss to satisfy, or you've got children who need you to look after them, or you've got stuff you need to do. It can be really an extra layer of complexity. But I haven't got any of that. And so it's been easy just to allow myself to be ill. I've watched the whole 2 seasons of The Crown on Netflix, which I didn't think I was going to like, but actually I really liked a lot. It was absolutely brilliant. What else have I been watching? Some films I can't even remember the names of, and loads of YouTube people. I've got really interested in a young lady called Katie Carson, who's got a channel called Royalty Soaps. If I can link it, I'll try to. She's in Texas, and it was Sarah, who's in Australia, who put me onto that. And I found Sarah through Hercules Candy. So if you link back, everything links back to Hercules Candy. Always. Everything links back to them. Anyway, Katie at Royalty Soaps, she makes the most fantastic soaps. and you won't ever be able to buy any because they go in a shop once every few weeks and they're sold out within 2 minutes, and so it's impossible to buy them. But I've been enjoying watching soaps. I watch homesteading videos, and there's one I watch, Justin Rhodes, his name is, and I like his channel because he's got a very full-on way of living, and 4 children who are small, but they're as involved in the farm as he is, and the older 2 boys do their chores and move stock around and feed animals, and it's a very full-on life they're living. And it was through that channel that I learned about something called Master Tonic. It's also called fire cider, I think. Well, I'm going to make some. I'm going to make some Master Tonic. You may know about it. It may be something that you're already using or that you're familiar with. But you know, it sounds awesome, and I think I probably wouldn't have gone down quite so low if I'd been dosed up with Master Tonic or fire cider. So basically, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to do it on this channel when I do make it. Horseradish, ginger, garlic, turmeric, onions, jalapenos, cider vinegar. That's 7 things. I think that's everything. Rebecca on Justin Rhodes' channel, she puts cinnamon in as well, but I think that's just to make it taste nicer. I'm going to see if I can find all those ingredients, and then we're going to make some Master Tonic. It takes about 8 weeks for it to become ready to use, but if you think about all those ingredients, it's going to definitely keep the wolf from the door. So hopefully that'll get me back on track. It won't do for this time, but it may do for next time. So I'll show you in the minute in the kitchen. Since not having an appetite for much, I've been making juice. I have all my lettuce and salad leaves and all my kale and cavolo nero and Swiss chard and rainbow chard, all those things, spinach, everything is all starting to grow. So I can take 1 leaf from each plant and juice it. Wheatgrass, I've fallen well out of the wheatgrass successional sowing, so I'm without wheatgrass at the moment. It's fine, I can plant some more. I just have to manage without it for a week. Somebody actually said, "We saw you drink the wheatgrass and now you are ill. Is it because you had the wheatgrass?" I have wheatgrass and ginger shot every single morning. Every single morning. That wasn't the first time I was having it. When I grow wheatgrass, so at this time of year everything grows really easily in the greenhouse. I'm growing micro herbs and shoots and all of that kind of thing, and I've got my juicer set up now, so I've got all 3 of my juicer and blender things set up, because I don't actually use the cooker much in the summer. It's salads and juices and so on. And if that is all too windy, I'll do it all again inside. Oh dear. Come on, let's go and have a look round. So I've been doing a lot of pricking out while I've been feeling a bit sedentary, and these are all little seedlings. They're just here in the shelter of the hedge so that they don't get too dried out. Courgettes are coming along really well. I'm very, very pleased with the courgettes. You'll be able to see, look. I'll be able to pick that one soon. Very pleased. Chives have gone crazy. This is the little herb bed as you first come out of the back door. Here's the table bed that we planted up together on Bank Holiday Monday. Was that 2 weeks ago now? I'm so pleased with how this is coming. You can see the little carrots coming here and the beetroot. I'll be eating those soon. The cucumbers and the gherkins are doing okay, and the tomatoes Well, I need to get out here and weed a lot, but these quick crops that I'm growing in between the tomatoes, there's some lettuce there and I'm just eating that every single day, and some radish here. I just gave my son a big bunch of radish to take home. The tomatoes aren't looking brilliant, but that's because I haven't really been out here looking after them. So here's my little juicer setup. I've got my blender on the left, my masticating juicer on the right, and my centrifugal juicer in the middle. The masticating one is good for wheatgrass and leaves. The blender obviously makes smoothies. There's the rest of that smoothie for me to finish there. And the one in the middle, the centrifugal one, makes hard things. So I could do carrot and cucumber and I mean, you can put those in that one there, but actually that one's quicker and it's just as good. So I use them all interchangeably because that's what I need to do at the moment, is just eat lots of things from the garden. It's just brilliant. So here then are Sadie's kittens. They're 3 weeks old today. And look at them, how beautifully lively they are, and eyes wide open. Look at little Harry there. I'm not keeping one. Don't persuade me. I'm definitely not. So Sadie's very, very good mum. I've got them upstairs here in the bedroom now. I think I told you I'd moved them. And at the moment they're fine because they're not actually rampaging around anywhere. They're just still. I'll back up and show you. So can you see I've got this sofa that I've turned round to face the wall. A bit further back, there we go. So at the moment it's almost like they're in a big comfy box and they're fine, but they've already started climbing up the sides, and so I think it won't be very long before I have to think about putting them somewhere else. But they're upstairs in my bedroom, and the whole time I haven't been feeling great. They've been very entertaining. Haven't you? Oh, they're so beautiful, aren't they? 3 potential owners have been to see them and done some selecting. It's hard to select from the tabbies because they're all pretty similar looking. There's 2 girls and 3 boys. And they're just as cute as it's possible to be. You're just too cute for words. I think they're at that sort of chocolate box stage, aren't they? Where if I could get some proper professional pictures of them doing cute things, I think you'd be on a chocolate box in no time. Ah, look at that one. Just all its little white chin. I'm not keeping one. I'm not. I've got 4 cats. I really don't want 5 cats. Anyway, they're going to make 5 people very happy, aren't they? Yes, they are. God, they're massive time wasters. They're lovely. They're lovely. Well, YouTube friends, it's really nice to be back, and thank you very much for watching. I've got some plans to do all sorts of interesting things. I haven't forgotten about dyeing that indigo fabric. It's been fantastic weather, exactly the right weather for dyeing fabric, but there's not been the willingness to do that. I've got some all sorts of really interesting things I want to talk to you about. So let's hope we get back on schedule now, and see you soon.